871 operational satellites in the geoprotected zone, about 22,000 miles above Earth. That orbit supports missile warning, global communications, and long-duration strategic systems. Now the Pentagon in the US wants commercially built surveillance satellites operating in that same orbital belt. Disruptions in GEO can affect communications coverage and warning timelines. Maneuvers in GEO can be interpreted as signaling. Monitoring and interpretation matter when multiple nations operate in the same band. I'm Dr. Amanda Fetch, and this is Tech AI Space OMI. On February 18, 2026, SpaceNews reported that the Pentagon is seeking commercially built GEO reconnaissance satellites. The solicitation comes from the Defense Innovation Unit and is titled Geosynchronous High-Resolution Optical Space-Based Tactical Reconnaissance. The model was commercial built, commercial operation first, then transitioned to government control within 36 months. DIU states a capability gap in GEO monitoring and calls for high-resolution imagery of resident space objects within 24 months. Sitting at GEO, satellites match Earth's rotation and remain fixed over one longitude at approximately 35,786 kilometers above the Earth. Public data shows how populated GEO already is, and you can follow along and review the same unclassified data that I'm going to reference on CelesTrak.org. So if you get a chance, go ahead and navigate over to CelesTrak.org, click Current GP Data, then select the CSV option, scroll to Communication Satellites, and click Geoprotected Zone. Now that list covers objects operating within the Geoprotected Zone. Now you can download the CSV and open it in Excel. The file shows 872 rows, including the header, which equals 871 operational satellites. The list includes commercial operators like INTELSAT, military systems such as NATO and SKynet, legacy missile warning platforms like DSP, and international operators including ANIK and WESTAR. This represents decades of layered infrastructure sharing the same orbital band. In my PhD research, I noticed that during about the 2010s or so, I observed a broader shift across space systems from predominantly government launch platforms toward increasing commercial communications dominance. That trend is clearly reflected in GEO today. Commercial capacity in this orbit has steadily expanded, and this solicitation fits within that broader evolution. And so the article from SpaceNews also references existing geosurveillance programs, including the Geosynchronous Space Situational Awareness Program, Silent Barker, and RGXX. The new element here is commercial operation before government takeover. And so GEO supports global communications and early warning systems, again at that approximately 35,786 kilometers above Earth, and additional surveillance capability can increase awareness. Additional actors and activity can increase coordination complexity and interpretation risk. If GEO becomes more crowded and more actively monitored, does that make it more stable or more fragile? What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.